I manifested a 5 bedroom, 2.5 bath dream home at 19 with no money, no savings, bad credit. Literally, I was in college, a broke college student. This is how I did it, raw and uncut. I ain't sugarcoating shit. It's really easy. People make manifestation so hard. It's not fucking hard at all, baby. Not at all. But this is how I did it. So let me give y'all a little backstory on where I was during this time. Where was my head? What was I doing in life? Like, how did I even get to wanting to buy a house? Especially at 19. You don't see people buying homes at 19. Maybe now, because younger people are doing more than what they were doing back then. But back then, that was not the norm, especially at 19. So I'm going to give you guys a backstory. My hometown is West Palm Beach, Florida. At that time, I was in college. I did not want to be there. I wanted to go to Florida State University to be with my best friend. That didn't happen because my mom and her green card, she didn't feel the need that she needed to look for her green card for me to go to fucking college. I needed it for my applications. That didn't happen. So I was miserable at this college that I did not want to be at. And on top of that, I only went to school because my father was pressuring me to go to school. I needed to go to school so when I graduate and get a job, I need to tell them what to pay me, not them tell me what to pay for me. I hope y'all got that. He was just always on me, okay? And I just thought I needed to go to college because I had to. That was the only reason why I was going there. I was going there full time every single day, also being a shift supervisor at Starbucks, making $11.25 an hour. Who lives off of that? I had no money. I found out that I had bad credit because I went to the bank to apply for a credit card. Weeks went by, I didn't get no credit card in the mail. I didn't get nothing in the mail. And I go to the bank and I'm like, what's up? What's happening? Why I haven't gotten approved? Come to find out, I get a piece of freaking thing in the mail from PayPal with my brother using my identity to buy shit for his girlfriend for Christmas. Then he also wanted to buy me something. And this is where his ass got caught. He tried to lie about it. He got caught. And I told him, here's the receipts. You the one who told me that you was going to buy your girlfriend this. You showed me everything that you were going to buy. And you're still trying to lie. But because he did all of that and even more things, I had bad credit. I could not apply for anything. Mind you, he did all of this before I turned 18. So before I turned 18, my credit would have been flooded up. Thanks to him, which is crazy. On top of that, my household was very abusive. I did not want to be there. I felt stuck. I was like, what am I doing with my life? What the hell? What am I going to do when I try to get my bachelor's? Because my family didn't have no money. We did not have money. We came from poverty. We were living in poverty. But we didn't have much. We were on Section 8. So I'm like, Veronica, what the hell are you going to do with your life? I didn't know what I wanted to do. What am I going to do? I didn't want to be in business administration anymore. I didn't know what the fuck. But then this happened. Woo! It's a bug, sorry. I took a trip to Austin to go visit my brother for Christmas. We went there, and when I went to Austin, oh my gosh, it opened my eyes to so much. It was fast. It was big. I was like, oh my God. Even just like the nightlife, I got to experience this as an adult. This was my first time leaving the state by myself and experience this. It was completely different from Palm Beach. Completely different. The people were different. The environment is just, it was just crazy. There were races behind people where I was living. And then when I came to Austin, it was just like completely different. Sorry, my arm's starting to hurt. You also needed to have a car there. You needed to have a car to drive around because Austin was like huge, like all around. Florida's like huge going up and down. Texas, that's what they say, everything big in Texas, because Texas is big all around. I was just like in so much shock, like a culture shock. And I was just like, I want to leave. I want to move. I need to get away. I need to get away from my family. I need to get away from the city because there was nothing there. All it was people just praying on your downfall. Nobody doing nothing with their lives. Once I figured that out and just like thought about that, I told my brother, I was like, I don't mind coming here. And my brother was like, how about you and mommy move here? I was like, I like that. I go back home. I'm like, how the fuck is this gonna happen though? I don't got no money. My job don't pay nothing. I don't even have nothing in my savings. I barely had the money to go visit him. How this is gonna happen? I felt stuck. I didn't know what the hell was gonna happen and how I was gonna do it, but it did happen. When I was with my brother in Austin, he helped me apply for an Apple credit card to start helping my credit. He eventually fixed our credit. He knew how to do credit repair, so he told me to start applying for credit cards again. So I applied for Apple credit card. That helped me because I actually started using it and I started paying my payments on time with that little bitty money that I had. That was my first form of action. Now, when I got home, after me going through all of this, was like, what the fuck am I gonna do? How am I even gonna save money to move if don't got no money? The job ain't paying nothing. I don't work that much because of college. I started to just look at homes on Zillow. I was looking at $1 million homes, $300,000 homes, $600,000 homes. My head was not thinking about loans or thinking about the prices of the homes. I was just looking at homes and seeing what I like, what I wanted in my homes. I was obsessed with just looking at homes. I was visualizing myself in these homes. I was like, how am I going to decorate it? Am I going to be using this type of couch? Like, would I put this decor on there? Truly visualizing and picturing myself in these spaces. Mind you, again, I'm not caring about how much they are. I'm just browsing. Okay. Just like when you're a kid, you're just imagining things, and you tell your mom you want this. They the one that's gonna be thinking about the money. You're not thinking about money. You're just thinking about having. So that's what I was doing. I was just visualizing myself there, getting myself familiar with these homes, getting myself familiar with these prices. Although if it, I ain't end up getting $1 million home, but it was a dream home. And you know what's important? Me visualizing and really picturing myself in these homes is what got me to having that 5 bedroom, 2.5 bath. Okay, because you don't manifest based on your current reality. You manifest the vision. So my mic died and I done recorded like 3 videos and I didn't even know it died. But like I was saying, you don't manifest your current reality. You manifest the vision that you have for your future. You manifest the vision of your desire, okay? That's what you manifest. So me literally, I think I'm repeating myself, but me looking at these houses was getting me familiar with that reality. So in my head, I know I'm going to get a house like this. I know I'm going to get a house that's big. Excuse me, because when I was younger, growing up, we had big houses. We always had big houses because we had a big family. But I will always get the smallest room, and it would be a fucking closet, okay? A closet compared to my brother's room. I was just like, this is not happening to me when we moved. That's truly what I did. That was one of the key things that I told the universe, okay, oh, she's serious. Like, I was literally training my mind to be familiar with that reality, be familiar with these homes, be familiar with the prices, because I'm not caring about the prices. That's one thing. Do not care about the prices. Do not, please. Me visualizing these things really tipped it off for me. It told the universe, okay, she's serious. Let's give her something else. Let's get her closer to that reality, which was out of nowhere. I found out I had Starbucks stocks, and I had like $900 worth of Starbucks stocks. You know how quickly I fucking I don't know how you do it, but it was in my account. It was in my account. I had to get surgery when I had braces. I had to get surgery on my tooth. I paid for that, and the rest of that money went into my savings. Me putting that into my savings, making the decision to put that in my savings for the move, was also telling the universe, okay, she's serious. Let's help her get even closer to this reality. And guess what? I was in my freshman spring year of college, and you know when you get your FAFSA, you get the pay back, the rest of the money back for that semester. Mind you, I didn't think I was gonna get nothing. But like I told y'all, my family, we didn't have no money. We were on Section 8. So you know when you don't have much, FAFSA gives you more money. I got back like $2,500. And you know what I did? Savings. Put that in the savings. Again, that told the universe, okay, she's so serious. Let's help her even more. And because I got that money, the next thing I did, I started looking at U-Hauls, looking at like how we were going to travel there, what was going to get me there. Before I was like, how the fuck I was going to get here. But then I started to thinking of different ways to get myself there. And it all started because I started looking at them homes. When you just make the decision and start looking at things that are not in your reality, you're going to start thinking of ways to get to that place, okay? I started looking at U-Hauls, paid for the U-Haul. That was like $12 to $1,500 to get there. But that was very scary for me. I was nervous. I was like, I'm spending all this money, and this is like a lot of my Bronco, period. Yeah, I'm manifesting a Bronco right now. But I was very scared. I was like, I've never had this much money in my account. I never had this much money in my damn hands my whole damn life by my damn self. So right now I have to spend a good chunk of my money on a U-Haul. I have to give my money away. But you know what? When it comes to manifesting, what are you going to give to get to where you want? I have to invest that money into that U-Haul, invest into my future. I paid for that U-Haul, although I was very nervous and scared. My nervous system was a little bit jacked up because I wasn't used to having that money, and I wasn't used to even spending that much amount of money. I still moved forward though. You do not care about what you're feeling. You feel your feelings, but you still have to move forward no matter what. No matter what. Because your desire for that manifestation or whatever it is has to be stronger than your feelings, stronger than what you feel right now. You have to have discipline. I didn't know that's what I was having. I just truly wanted to leave so bad that I did not care about anything else. I still felt feelings though. I still had doubt, but I still moved forward. That's what matters. That was January. We move on to March 3rd is when we left. I withdrew from college. And you know what my daddy did? He didn't talk to me for like 2 years. He said, I don't love you, you're not my daughter. Did you think that stopped me from leaving? Fuck no. I still fucking left. Do you think I give a fuck about that? That's not a priority. My priority was leaving this place, leaving a place where I cannot grow. I felt stagnant. I felt stuck. Me moving was a new version of me, a growing version of me. I saw growth. I saw me becoming someone else without the eyes of the people that I grew up with just staring me down. Always there, because you know your people at home always be nosy. They just be so fucking nosy, and they were. I still have people in my ear talking about, you don't need to go. Do you really want to do this? Are you really going to? Yes, I'm doing it. Bye, bitch. Bye. On March 3rd is when we got there. Mind you, something else happened. My brother freaking crashed the U-Haul into a car that was in front of us while we're 30 minutes away from my other brother's home. That was the thing that could have set me back. I could have let that hold me back. Like, I don't want to do this no more. This is a sign that I don't need to be here. Baby, my heart was racing, but I moved forward. I kept on. I was like, this is okay. I'm supposed to be here. I had to keep breathing, deep breaths. Did like box breathing to regulate my nervous system, because regardless of what I was feeling, I was uncomfortable because this was uncertainty. I didn't know. This is all very new. I'm in a new environment. I'm not what I'm used to. Okay, this is editing Veronica, editing Ronnie. I forgot a key part. You know how I was worried about having money to like basically afford the home, how I was going to have money to maintain the home. So before I moved, my brother and his girlfriend were doing security, and my brother was a manager as well. He told me to apply for one of the positions at the security place, and this was before I moved, and I had an interview the day after I got to Texas. And you know what? I got the job. But you know how much I was getting paid? I was getting paid $25 an hour, working 50 to 60 hours a week. I was making almost $6,000 a month. Do you know my 19-year-old was like, oh yeah, I got big money, real big money. And you see how the universe worked for me? The universe will make sure that you can maintain what you have, okay? I got a job, it's secured before I even got the house. She said, let's make sure she can keep this place. Let's make sure she can have and enjoy this place. And then now let's talk about my car. You know, I was saying how you need to have a car there. Now, I did have a car in my hometown. It was just a 1999 Honda Civic. It was my piece of shit. Nobody can call her a piece of shit though. Because if you call her a piece of shit, you're just gonna have to run me my 30. You don't have to run me my 30. I literally made sure I was going to have a car when I got there. I was not going to leave if I didn't have a car when I got there. Me and my mom applied for a loan, and I was able to get me a car the day I got to Texas. I didn't waste any time. The day I got to Texas was when I went to the dealership and got me a 2017 Chevy Malibu. That was my baby Oscar. So you see how, again, universe made sure I was going to have a car to move around Austin, to get to my destinations, to get to my job, to get to my home. Everything was literally aligning in the best possible way. But you know, I think that's done. I'm done. Editing Veronica is out. I just needed to tell you guys that key part. I forgot. But yeah. We get a loan. Our limit was like $200K. My brother gave us a realtor. We told her that was our limit. So she started looking for homes. And she sent us some ugly ass homes, some used homes that were old. Started looking at them, and then my brother went with us as well. He was like, no, this is not it. And I was like, no, this is not either, because this is not what I was looking at on Zillow. Fuck no. They were so freaking ugly. And I was looking at all new construction homes. I was not looking at no used homes. That was not what I was going for. So I told her no. She did another search. She showed some new construction homes, but when we went to those homes, the rooms were small. Like I said, I was not going to move into a home that had closets as rooms. Remember that. I did not settle. So after that, I started looking on my own. I think I found a home right outside of Austin. And it was a 5-bedroom, 2.5 bath. We went to go look at the model. I loved it, okay? Master bedroom, chef's kiss, huge. The rooms upstairs, huge. But we didn't need a 5-bedroom, 2.5 bath. It was only gonna be me and my mom and maybe my sister, so a 3-bedroom. Everybody was like, why are you getting this house? I only care about the rooms. But you need to look at this and make sure you learn from this. I did not settle. The universe will send you safer options, things that will may be good, but it's not everything that you wanted. He's going to test you to see if what you truly want, you're going to stick and stay there for that. Okay? And that's exactly what I did. I did not settle for no ugly ass house. I did not settle for no small ass house. I got an even bigger house. I got this house that was even bigger than what I wanted. Okay? But here was the problem. We went back to the loan representative and we told him how much the house was. And it was $250,000. $50 over our budget, okay? I mean, $50. $50,000 over our budget. And he was like, okay, can you guys put like a $13,000 down payment? Can you give more money? Like, no, I ain't have that. I ain't had that much money in my savings. Y'all know how much I had when I moved. I ain't had no $10,000. This is where I was like thinking, like, how the fuck are we gonna get this house and we don't got no $10,000 down? People always talking about you need to have like at least $10,000 down to get a home. That's what they be trying to trick you. They be tricking you. If you're a first-time home buyer, you get incentives, okay? He asked us if we were first-time home buyers and we told him, and he was like, oh, okay, yes. So he was able to get us that $50,000 for the house without us having to pay. And then, you know, on top of this, the deposit that we gave for the house to make sure we got it, we got the deposit back. We didn't have to pay anything. Zero down on everything. No nothing. I got that home. And you know what's funny? The universe is going to give you what you want in the most unexpected ways, okay? But it's going to be the best way possible, okay? The best way possible. Mind you, I ain't know nothing about manifestation back then. But now that I do know, I was like, whoa, Veronica, you did that. You did that. This is what I'm going to end you guys with. I didn't have it all figured out, okay? I didn't have no money, okay? I didn't have all the money. I didn't have the best credit, okay? My credit was not perfect. But you know what I had? I had faith. I wasn't even closer to God at this time, but I had faith. I followed my gut feeling no matter what because I wanted to move so bad, okay? I had the vision and I took action anyway, okay? I took action anyway. Please get that in your head. Take the action anyway, no matter what your circumstances is telling you and showing you. It does not fucking matter because what you want is right there and is waiting for you to get there. Every step I took, the universe, God, was right there with me, okay? Met me where I was, okay? God, the universe will always meet you where you are. You don't have to do no extra ass work. You don't gotta do nothing. You just take aligned action. You take action that feels good to you, okay? That's going to get you closer to your goals or whatever you want to that house. Now, if you're watching this and you have a dream that's so big to you, I want you to know that you're not crazy. You're just ahead of your reality, okay? Your reality just needs to get its way to you. Like your current reality right now, it's lagging, okay? It's not where you are yet. It's not where your mind is yet, but you just got to wait for it to get there, okay? Don't worry about what's happening now. You only care about your future. You only worry about your future. You only worry about knowing that what you want, you're going to have it. Me looking at them homes back then, I knew I was going to get me a house. I knew I was going to get me a house that I love. I wasn't going to get no small-ass house. I was going to get some big house, and I did. Don't shrink your dreams, okay? Do not do that. Freaking expand your belief. Think outside the box. Think bigger. Think big, bitch. Think big. That's what you need to do. Now, comment below what you're manifesting. I want to know, is it a new car, new home, new life, new apartment, your specific person? What are you manifesting? I would love to know so I can cheer you on, give you some energy that way. And if you want real, raw, uncut content on becoming her, manifestation and mindset, just hit that subscribe button, like, comment. You know, I'm here for you, but let me know what you're manifesting. I would like to know. I love you guys. See you later. Yeah.